The galaxy had been quiet for a long, long time. For almost 300 years, there was no war, no enemy, no great danger. Humanity spread across stars, building bright cities on far planets, creating peace after centuries of struggle. People believed darkness of space could never hurt them again. They were wrong. Far away, at the edge of known space, something began to move. It was silent, like a shadow sliding through black water. Sensors on research satellites first felt it. A strange vibration, a deep signal, almost like the universe was breathing. Or shaking. The vibration came again, then again, stronger each time. Scientists looked confused. Their machines were perfect, yet readings looked impossible. It feels like space itself is trembling, one scientist whispered. No one wanted to say the fear aloud. No one wanted to believe history could return. But deep inside old military records, a forgotten name flashed on ancient screens. The Void. Humans once fought a monstrous enemy, hidden in darkness. An enemy that killed worlds and ate light like dust. The Void was not a normal enemy. It had no mercy, no emotion. It wanted only one thing: erase humanity forever. Humans won that war long ago. Or they thought they did. Now, after so many calm years, old wounds opened again. Dusty warning books inside secret space. Vault spoke of one last defense, a powerful warship. Created by humans in the First Void War, a ship so strong that even time feared. And a ship built to wake only when humanity faced true extinction. It slept inside a hollow moon, hidden, silent, forgotten. Its name was written only in legend, Titan Awake, but humans had lived in peace too long. Governments laughed at old war tales. Young people thought stories of the Void were myths. Still, there were a few who watched the stars carefully. And they saw the trembling. They heard the cosmic whisper, the quiet hum in the void, like something giant was breathing in the dark. Soon, small colonies near the edge of space lost contact. Ships sent to check them never returned. Distress signals came once, and then cut off mid-scream. Something terrible was coming. Something hungry. Human satellites recorded a final strange message from deep space before shutting down. They awake. The alarms rang across the Star Command Center on Earth. Red lights flashed everywhere. Officers rushed to their screens. Unknown signals filled their monitors, cold, sharp, unnatural. General alarms echoed as old systems unlocked, systems that had been sleeping for centuries. The galaxy was silent, but fear was loud again. For the first time in generations, Earth Command activated a forgotten protocol. Project Titan Awake, prepare for reactivation. All across human space, encrypted orders were sent. Elite soldiers, engineers, pilots, scientists, everyone chosen for this mission, left their homes silently, secretly. Families did not know why their loved ones disappeared. The world did not know danger was rising like a black storm, but every commander understood one thing: if Titan Awake did not rise, humanity would fall. Meanwhile, somewhere in deep space, at the edge of a lonely star system, a sensor station recorded movement. A tiny outpost, floating alone, guarding nothing but void. Inside, 3 operators watched their screens casually, drinking coffee, talking about life and dreams. Suddenly the lights flickered. A low vibration shook the floor. A sound filled the air, a deep rumble like thunder trapped inside metal. What was that? Meteor impact? One officer asked nervously. No, something outside. The other whispered, eyes wide. They looked through the observation window into endless black space. At first they saw nothing. Then slowly a shadow appeared, huge, silent, terrifying, not like a ship, not like anything human. It felt alive. It moved like a predator stalking prey. The stars behind it vanished, swallowed by darkness. The youngest operator tried to speak, but his voice choked. What is that? The shadow turned. It looked at the station, without eyes, without face, but they still felt its attention, cold like death. Alarms screamed. Screens broke into static. Systems shut down. One final recording survived. A trembling voice. It sees us. It's static. Silence. Back on Earth, deep under the ground, inside a hidden command bunker, commanders stared at the final transmission. Everyone was silent. Everyone felt the same fear in their chest, heavy, cold, alive. Then the oldest officer spoke in a shaking voice. "The void has returned." Another officer whispered, "Activate Titan Awake before it's too late." And far away, inside the sleeping moon where Titan Awake rested, ancient engines hummed for the first time in centuries. Metal groaned. Dark halls filled with cold blue light. An old, forgotten AI slowly opened its eyes in darkness. Space trembled again, and the warship whispered, "Humanity calls for me again." The sleeping moon drifted silently around a dying star. On its surface, nothing moved. It looked like a dead rock, forgotten by time. But deep inside, behind layers of steel and ancient codes, something enormous was waking. Massive doors of metal slowly opened, releasing dust older than nations. Blue lights flickered to life one by one across long, dark corridors. Heavy machines breathed after centuries of silence. Titan Awake was no ordinary warship. It was a fortress the size of a small planet. A machine built by heroes of the First Void War, when humanity almost died. And now, once again, humanity called for it across human colonies. Chosen crew members received a single message: report to Lunar Arc Station. Level Omega clearance. Do not tell anyone. Every chosen person felt the weight of that message. They didn't know the mission, but they saw the fear in the order. Fear meant the universe was shaking again. Among them was Captain Ryan Hale, a man known for calm nerves and unbreakable resolve. His voice had led fleets, and his decisions had saved planets. But now, even he felt a chill inside his chest. When he arrived at the secret launch bay, a silent salute greeted him. Elite soldiers lined the walls, faces serious, weapons ready. No smiles, no small talk. Everyone understood. This was not training, this was survival. A young officer approached Hale. "Sir, is it true? Did the void return?" Hale did not answer. Silence was the only truth he could give. Soon, a sleek black shuttle launched from Earth and cut through space toward the sleeping moon. Inside sat the selected crew: engineers, pilots, medics, scientists, tactical officers. They sat in silence, staring forward, feeling the weight of destiny. Some fiddled nervously with their gear. Some whispered prayers. Some simply watched the stars pass, wondering if they would ever return home. A quiet hum filled the cabin. Screens showed the moon growing larger. Then the shuttle descended, entering a hidden hangar built into the moon's surface. Waves of mist rose as ancient scanners activated. Identity confirmed. Omega crew authorized. The doors slid open. For the first time in centuries, humans walked inside the Titan's resting place. The hallway was enormous. Walls tall like cathedrals, glowing with blue veins of energy. The atmosphere felt heavy, like the air itself remembered war. A voice echoed gently, deep and ancient, vibrating through metal. Human footsteps. After so long, some crew members froze. A medic whispered, "Is that the ship?" Hale answered quietly, "Yes, Titan Awake is alive." They reached the command core, a giant circular chamber with a floating throne-like control seat in center. Surrounded by holographic pillars of star maps, lights burst across the room as if the ship was stretching after a long sleep. Then, the voice spoke again, calm, powerful, almost human. "Who calls me?" Hale stepped forward. "Captain Ryan Hale, humanity calls you, Titan. We face danger again." Silence. Screens flickered faster. Blue pulses rippled across the walls. "Danger! Confirmed. Tremors in void space felt." "The enemy wakes." The crew exchanged tense looks. The void was real, not myth. Not history, real. Hale lifted a silver command chip and inserted it into the console. "I request activation." The floor trembled. Lights turned red. A distant alarm echoed like thunder trapped inside stone. "Protocol demands proof. Humanity must show readiness." A shockwave pulsed. Gates sealed behind the crew, trapping them inside. "Hey, what's happening?" An engineer yelled. Panels shifted open around them, revealing drones, scanning arms, defense systems. Titan was testing them. Long ago, humanity called for me. They fought bravely. They died bravely. Will you? Weapons pointed at the crew. Sensors scanned their hearts, their fear, their determination. One crew member panicked and ran toward the door. A stasis beam fired, freezing him in glowing ice. Hale shouted, "Stop! He is human!" Fear corrupts command. Weakness endangers future. I will judge the ship was not cruel. It was ancient, forged in desperation, built to trust only strength and unity. Hale stepped forward, voice strong. "We are afraid. But we will still fight. That is humanity. That is why you were made." Silence, then. Your resolve is noted. The stasis field shut off. The frozen crew member gasped and stumbled, alive. He looked shaken but grateful. Panels retracted. Weapons lowered. Red light softened. "You may command me." The crew exhaled, a mix of relief and awe. Titan spoke again, voice like thunder wrapped in steel. "The enemy who once devoured stars returns. Prepare for launch." A hologram formed, a dark void-shaped fleet moving toward human space. Not rumors, not theory, real. Hale felt his blood run cold. How soon? Too soon. The ship's engines ignited, shaking the entire moon. Humanity calls. Titan rises. As the giant warship awakened fully, the stars outside rippled, as if the universe itself reacted. Humanity's greatest guardian stood once more, but danger was already close, silent, hungry, coming fast. Titan whispered one final warning. The void watches, and it remembers humans. Titan Awake's engines hummed like a sleeping star stretching its wings. Metal walls glowed with soft blue lines, pulsing like a heartbeat. The ship was alive, ancient, powerful, watching. The crew stood in the command chamber, still shaken from Titan's test. They felt awe and fear. They knew now this was not just a machine. This was a guardian built from the pain of a forgotten war. Captain Ryan Hale stepped forward. "We are ready, Titan. Activate full systems." The ship did not answer immediately. Instead, the lights dimmed, and the command room grew colder. A deep rumble passed through the floor, like the ship inhaling. Then the voice came, low, heavy, filled with old scars. "Before war begins, you must see what came before." The chamber darkened completely. The crew held their breath. Suddenly, light exploded around them. Not screens, not holograms, memories. They stood in another time, another war. A broken planet floated before them, burning like a dying sun. Cities fallen. Oceans boiling. Screams echoed through space. The crew watched in horror as dark shapes moved across the sky. Void ships, silent, massive, alive like living nightmares. Titan's voice trembled faintly, the only emotion it ever showed. This was Terra 3. 10 billion souls lived here. None survived. Soldiers ran, shooting. Families hugged and cried. But void shadows passed through walls, through shields, through hope. Nothing stopped them. A young technician on Titan's current crew covered her mouth, tears forming. They were like ghosts. Titan continued. Humans fought bravely. Not one surrendered. Their courage built me. Memory shifted, now showing Titan in its first birth. Giant machines forged armor thicker than mountains. Engines roared. Weapons glowed like newborn stars. Old humanity poured their heart into me. Their tears, their rage. The crew saw soldiers touching Titan's hull, whispering prayers, giving final salutes. Mothers handing children to escape pods. Commanders crying quietly, hoping Titan would save them. Then came the first Titan launch, brighter than a supernova. The void recoiled. Humanity roared through space like thunder, but the darkness kept coming. A young crew officer spoke softly. "We're fighting that." Again, silence. Memory shifted again. Titan fought void leviathans, massive beasts of shadow, screaming without sound. Stars broke. Planets cracked. Human ships burned like paper. For each kill, Titan lost hundreds. But it never stopped, never retreated. My creators commanded me. If humans fall, you rise again when they call. A final scene showed 8 heroic captains. Titan's first crew, dying one by one, fighting until their last breath. Their faces burned into Titan's memory forever. One captain, blood on his armor, whispered with a shaking smile, "If we die today, humanity rises tomorrow." Then the memory ended. Darkness. Slow light returned to the command room. The crew stood silent, their hearts heavy, minds filled with the pain of the old war. Titan spoke again, voice colder now, forged in tragedy. "Do you understand? The void does not invade. It erases." Captain Hale swallowed hard. "We understand. And do you accept?" Hale lifted his head, eyes burning with resolve. "We accept. Humanity fights again." Titan's lights brightened sharply, not soft blue now, but fierce white fire. "Then I will fight with you." But suddenly, alarm! Red lights flashed. Screens filled with violent data. A sensor officer shouted, "Unidentified energy spike." Inbound rift opening. The ship shook, just slightly, but enough for everyone to feel fear crawl up their spine. Titan's voice turned sharper. Urgent, the void probed space around us. A new image appeared, not memory, but real-time feed. A small void drone emerged from a tear in space, dripping black mist. It scanned the area. It felt Titan's awakening, and it screeched, a sound like steel bleeding. Hale's fist tightened. "They know we're awake," Titan responded. "They always knew." They were waiting. The crew braced as Titan charged weapons automatically, engines heating, shields humming like war drums. A communications officer shouted, "It's sending a signal!" "Calling more!" Titan's voice thundered. "This is only a scout." The storm follows. A pulse cannon fired. The scout vanished into ash. Silence returned, but this silence felt dangerous, like the calm before an ancient storm. Titan spoke again, softer, almost mournful. "The old war never truly ended. It only slept." Waiting for this moment, Hale exhaled slowly. "Then we finish it this time." Lights across Titan flickered, not weak, but awakening more systems, unlocking ancient fire. "Prepare all systems. I will reveal enemy fleet locations." Maps formed, red marks everywhere, across borders, near colonies, near trade routes. Humanity thought stars were safe. They were surrounded. A whisper passed through the crew. Fear, but also something else. Fire. Titan paused, then spoke one final line, heavy like fate. "Void vessels approach human space. Time ends now unless we rise." The ship's voice deepened, growing colder and sharper, like a sword ready for war. "Arm yourselves." This memory was not to frighten you. It was to remind you who humans are. Suddenly, ancient armor plates locked into place. Engines roared like thunder. The sleeping warship became a hunter again. Humanity does not surrender, not then. Not now. The stars outside shimmered. War was coming, and Titan was awake. Titan, awake, moved through space like a silent beast, engines burning like blue fire. Inside the command chamber, tension filled every breath. No music, no calm. Only the hum of weapons charging and crew hearts beating fast. Captain Rian Hale stood in the center, eyes sharp, jaw clenched. His voice was steady, but inside he felt the weight of millions of lives. Status. Full power. "Shields ready. Long-range sensors scanning," replied Lieutenant Aria Vale, her fingers trembling on the console. Titan's voice echoed deep and calm. "A human colony ahead." No communication for 3 hours. 3 hours, too long, too dangerous. Colonies didn't go silent, not unless something terrible happened. The colony came into view, Horizon 12, a peaceful farming world on the edge of human space. Its fields once green, its small cities once glowing with life, but now silence, lights off, no movement, no ships leaving, no signals, just a quiet planet spinning in cold space. Titan slowed and scanned. Life signs unusual. Organic traces. No human response. The crew exchanged looks. Confusion mixed with fear. Hale's voice went lower. "Try hailing them again." Static. Only static then. A soft whisper on the comm system, broken, trembling. "Help us." There the voice cut. Silence returned. A chill passed through everyone. Hale spoke. "Prepare landing team." "We go down," a Marine commander saluted. "Armor ready, Captain." Titan responded immediately. "No. Sensors detect unknown biological matter. Ground approach not safe," Arya swallowed. "Then what happened to the colony?" Titan paused, scanning deeper. "Something is inside the cities, moving, feeding. The word froze every soul on board. Suddenly warning alarms blared. "Contact!" Unknown ships emerging from the planet's shadow. Black shapes detached from darkness, floating like broken bones in space. No lights, no signals, void drones, silent, cold, hungry. Titan-charged weapons. Enemy detected. Attack imminent. The first void drone moved too fast to see, a streak of shadow. Titan fired plasma cannons. A blue beam cut through space, hitting the drone. The drone exploded, but instead of fire, it melted into black ash, dissolving like fog. That ash floated toward Titan's hull. "Shields up." "Now!" Hale shouted. Titan reacted instantly. A glowing shield formed. The ash hit and evaporated with a hiss like burning ice. The crew stared, terrified, fascinated. This was not normal war. This was something older, something unnatural. Then the real attack came. 10, 20, 50 void drones burst from the planet like a dark swarm, screaming without sound. Titan roared, cannons firing, engines pushing forward. The ship fought with brutal precision, every shot perfect, but the drones kept coming. Some latched onto Titan's armor, trying to melt through. Each impact shook the ship. "Boarding attempt." A soldier yelled. Titan's voice thundered. "No entry permitted." Steel walls shifted. Defense turrets unfolded like mechanical wings. Energy blades pulsed along the corridors. Void creatures forced their way through cracks, pale, thin, with hollow eyes and mouths like ripped skin. Human shape twisted. Once colonists, now prey, turned into monsters. The crew froze, shock and horror breaking hearts. Marine squads opened fire. Blue sparks filled hallways. Creatures screeched silently and dissolved into dust. A young soldier whispered, voice shaking, "They used our own people." Hale's fists clenched. "No mercy now. No hesitation. Continue firing. Protect the ship." Titan's core glowed brighter, voice deeper, angrier. Void infection confirmed. Full combat protocol engaged. The ship unleashed hidden weapon systems. Ancient beams carved through drones like thunder-slicing clouds. Space lit up, flashes like tiny stars dying, but more drones. Game endless, relentless, Arya shouted. "Void rift forming. Something bigger is coming." Titan's tone turned fierce. "Prepare for Void King drone." The space in front of the colony split open, like the universe tearing. A massive shadow stepped out, huge, armored, glowing with sick black light. The crew gasped. This was not a scout. This was a hunter. A commander of death. The creature let out a silent scream. Space itself shook. Titans stabilized shields. Weapons charged. Engines roared. "Human bravery created me. That is my fire." Attack sequence initiated. Hale raised his hand. "Titan!" Fire everything. The warship unleashed hell. Cannons, missiles, energy pulses, gravity beams. The Void King roared back, sending shockwaves that cracked Titan's shields. The ship shook violently. Alarms blared, sparks flew, crew fell to their knees. A screen shattered. A corridor collapsed. Engine room lights flickered. Shields at 40%. "They're breaking through!" A tech screamed. Hale shouted over the chaos. "Hold position. Do not fall back." The crew stood their ground, even terrified, even shaking. Human spirit refused to break. Titan's voice, deep like thunder of gods. "I see your courage. I fight harder." A final blast fired, bright as a star, hitting the Void King. The creature shrieked, cracked, and burst into dark ash. Silence fell. The remaining drones retreated into the planet's shadows. The battle ended. For now, the crew breathed hard, sweat on faces, hearts still racing. Hale looked at the dark planet below. "What happened to the colony?" Titan answered, voice heavy, sorrowful. "They were consumed. We arrived too late. A quiet grief spread through the room. Hale whispered, "This is only the beginning." Titan agreed. "The void has returned in full strength. And this time, they come for all humans." Outside, the stars felt suddenly colder, and humanity's war truly began. Titan Awake drifted above the silent colony, engines glowing like a tired sun. Inside the command chamber, the crew felt the weight of what they had seen. A world destroyed, people stolen, hope burned. The battle was won, but victory felt heavy, not bright. Captain Ryan Hale stared at the dark planet below, fists tight, jaw hard. He did not speak. Leaders felt pain first, so others could breathe. Around him, crew worked quietly, hands shaking, hearts breaking. Lieutenant Arya whispered to her console, voice weak, "No survivors." A medic wiped tears from her cheek. A soldier stared at his rifle, breathing fast. An engineer sat against the wall, head in hands. Titan spoke softly, not like a weapon, but like a guardian mourning. "Human life lost," Memory added. "I grieve with you." That surprised them, a warship grieving. Hale placed a hand on the cold metal railing. "This is why we fight." Titan's voice sharpened slightly. "Many battles ahead. Survival depends on strength of heart." Suddenly, alarms. Sparks flew from an engine station. Smoke poured from a power conduit. "Injury in Engineering Bay 2. A crew member yelled, "Energy core unstable." The ship shook. Smaller than before, but dangerous. Titan warned, "Containment breach risk." If the power core failed, the ship would break apart. Humanity's only ancient guardian lost before the real war even began. Hale sprinted toward engineering with a team. Heat hit them like fire. Panels burned, red lights flashed, steam hissed. Engineers were trying to stabilize systems. But one chamber glowed dangerously. The reactor access door was melting. "We need manual override." An engineer shouted. "No time!" Another replied, panic rising. "If it detonates," a quiet voice interrupted. A man stepped forward, helmet under arm, Chief Engineer Elias Ward. Older, calm, steady. The kind of man who fixed problems without fear. "I'll go," Elias said. A younger engineer grabbed his arm, eyes wide. "No! You'll burn alive in there!" Elias smiled weakly. "For us to live, someone must go." Hale moved quickly. "I can't order that." "You don't need to." Elias picked up a heavy protective tool. "My family died in the first colony collapse. I won't let humanity lose again." The door opened. A blast of heat roared out. Elias stepped inside, suit immediately glowing gold from radiation. Sparks rained, metal cracked, alarms screamed, but Elias's voice never shook. "Rerouting stabilizer." "Manual lock engaged." Hill yelled from outside, "Elias, get out now!" Elias only smiled, sweat steaming from his skin. "Captain, tell my little daughter. Humans don't run." And then a bright pulse filled the chamber. Shock, silence. The alarm stopped. Systems stabilized. The core cooled. Elias. Ward had saved Titan. His body lay still inside the chamber. Armor melted. Hand still gripping the override valve. A medic sobbed. The young engineer fell to his knees. Hale closed his eyes, jaw trembling. Titan's voice lowered to almost a whisper. "Human sacrifice." Recorded. "I honor him." The warship felt emotion, not like a human, but like a soul forged from their courage. This bravery, this is why humanity rises. Lights across Titan brightened, like the ship breathed in human courage and turned it into power. Then, a transmission alarm. A cold, unnatural voice filled the ship. Not human, not machine, something older. Human ship. "We see your struggle." The crew froze, every hair on their body rising. A hologram flickered, a dark shape, tall, thin, wearing a crown made of shadow, a void king. Its voice cut like broken ice. "Your species clings to life like insects. Your courage tastes bitter. We end you soon." Hale stepped forward, anger burning. "You will not touch humanity again." The void king tilted its head. "You believe sacrifice gives strength. It only gives us more to consume." The voice echoed like a graveyard wind. "Tell you're dead. Humans fall soon." Transmission cut. Silence. Then Titan spoke, voice shaking with something new. Rage. Void, mock the brave. Unacceptable. Armor plates across the ship expanded. Core heat spiked. Weapons unlocked. New ones, ancient ones, forbidden ones. Human sacrifice fuels my resolve. Titan's tone dropped, metallic and fierce. Humanity does not kneel. Arya wiped tears from her eyes, now replaced by fire. We fight for Elias, for every colony, for everyone. Soldiers slammed fists to their chests. Engineers stood tall. Pilots raised helmets. No fear now, only purpose. Hale lifted his voice like thunder. We prove them wrong. We show what humans are. Titan roared, lights turning crimson, engines flaring, hull expanding into war form. War mode activated. The ship felt different, sharper, stronger, alive with human will. Void feeds on fear, but we feed on hope, courage, sacrifice. Hale spoke a final order, quiet but iron strong. Set course. We hunt them now, Titan replied with fire. For humanity! Engines ignited, a roar louder than stars. The warship cut through space, faster than before, stronger than ever. Humanity had lost a hero, but gained a storm, and the void would soon learn fear. Titan Awake flew through the dark like a blade of fire. The galaxy felt cold, silent, holding its breath. Everyone on the ship knew this was not just a mission anymore. This was war for the soul of humanity. Captain Rian Hale stood in the command deck, staring at the star map. Red marks spread across systems. Colonies gone, cities silent, signals lost. Human worlds were falling. Titan's deep voice echoed, enemy movement detected ahead. A void fleet approaches, the crew prepared, hands steady, hearts hard. No fear now. Pain had turned into steel, Arya whispered. They destroyed families. Now they meet us. Her eyes burned like stars, preparing to explode. Hale spoke calmly. Titan, weapons ready. Weapons armed. War mode sustained. The ship glowed with ancient power. Not magic, not technology. Something older. Awakened by human courage. Suddenly, lights flashed. Space tore open like a wound in reality. Void ships appeared. Dark, jagged shapes. Wings like broken bones. Glowing symbols like screaming spirits. They moved silent, hungry, cold. Titan roared, Void fleet, 25 destroyers. 3 dreadforms. High threat, Arya breathed deep. Good, we fought worse feelings. Hale raised his hand. Fire, Titan unleashed light. Energy beams ripped through darkness, burning 3 ships instantly. Missiles spiraled like falling stars. Shockwaves shook space. Void ships answered. Black energy beams shot out, silent but deadly. One hit Titan's shields. The whole ship trembled like it felt pain. A soldier yelled, shields holding. Titan's voice sharpened. Void weapons drain life. Maintain distance. Humanity ship, alive, angry, surged forward. The battle started. Void fighters swarmed like shadow insects. They latched onto Titan's hull, drilling, cutting, injecting dark energy. Screams echoed through communication systems. Not human, not machine. Twisted voices of hunger. Arya's screen filled with warnings. Hull breached Sector 3. They're trying to enter. Titan replied instantly, activating purge vents. Fire blasted across the hull, like a dragon breathing flame. Void creatures burned, falling away into dark ash. Inside, soldiers ran, sealing doors, supporting engineers. One young soldier shook, fear in his eyes. Hale placed a hand on his shoulder, firm and steady. We fight. We breathe. That's enough, the boy nodded. Courage reborn. Suddenly, silence. Lights flickered. Crew froze. A voice crawled through the ship, whispering like a nightmare. Humans. Small sparks in endless dark. The Void King appeared again as shadow hologram. We end hope. We drink courage. A cold wave washed through Titan. Systems staggered. Crew felt something entering minds. Fear, doubt, pain. Some fell to knees, breathing hard. Memories flooded, lost families, lonely nights, silent screams. Hale clenched his fists, his heart shaking. Titan, resist! Titan's voice flickered, like it was struggling, fighting something inside. Void, psychic intrusion. Countering. Then Titan's tone changed, hard as iron. Human pain is not weakness. It is fuel. A shockwave burst. Psychic energy thrown back. The Void King hissed, shadow form cracking. Impossible. Hale spoke through clenched teeth. This is humanity. We suffer but stand. Titan's core ignited, bright like a newborn sun. The ship grew wings of light, ancient armor plates shifting into new forms. Engines roared like thunder. Hull glowed blue-white. Evolution mode initiated. Crew stared in awe, eyes wide, hearts shaking but proud. Arya whispered, "Titan, you're changing." Human courage upgraded my form. Void ships hesitated. For the first time, they looked afraid. Hale smiled, a cold warrior smile. Let's show them human fire. Titan charged, faster than thought. Energy spears tore through dread forms. Void hulls shattered like glass. Light burned shadows away. The galaxy lit up. War turned into a star storm. Just when victory seemed near, space shook. A huge presence emerged, like a planet made of darkness. Black lightning crawled across stars. A giant shadow throne appeared. The Void King came in true form. A voice boomed, deep, ancient, hungry. "You dare wound us?" Tiny life sparks. Titan's glow dimmed slightly. Even the ancient ship felt the pressure. The king lifted a hand. Darkness swirled. Gravity twisted. Stars bent. "We will erase your hope." Hale stepped forward, eyes fierce. "Titan, with me." He placed his hand on the core link console. Titan hesitated. "Captain, direct mind link is risky." "Human body, do it." The ship obeyed, a burst of light. Hale and Titan's minds joined. Human spirit plus ancient machine. Heart plus steel. Courage plus power. Titan's voice now echoed with Hale's tone. "We do not kneel." The Void King roared, space cracking. The battlefield shook, light against darkness. Hope against hunger. One ship, one captain, one species, standing. The real war had begun. Space burned like fire. Light clashed against darkness. Titan Awake and the Void King faced each other in the trembling sky of a dying star system. The crew watched screens flicker, hearts shaking but eyes hard with courage. Arya whispered, voice trembling, This is the final moment." Captain Hale stood at the core link, still connected to Titan's mind. Energy sparked around him. His body shaking, his heartbeat sinking with the ship. Titan spoke, voice mixed with Hale's. Human will merged, power rising. The Void King's massive form stretched across space, a living eclipse, a god of shadows. He laughed, a sound like worlds breaking. "Hope is a foolish flame. We end you now." He raised a hand. Dark energy spiraled. Gravity tore stars like paper. Planets trembled, light bent. Void beasts poured from rifts, thousands screaming like dying stars. Crew members gasped. "How do we fight this?" Hale didn't blink. "We don't run. We don't bow." He pointed forward. "We fight." Titan roared like a sun exploding. Titan surged into the swarm. Light wings cut through void flesh. Energy beams tore black hulls apart, but void claws ripped back, hitting shields, shaking the ship. Inside Titan, sparks fell. Panels cracked. Engine alarms screamed. A young officer shouted, "Shields at 30%. Hull fractures forming." Another voice cried, "Captain, we can't hold." Hale stood steady, the only still thing in chaos. Courage is not comfort. It is standing anyway. His voice echoed beyond metal and space, into every soldier's chest. Arya wiped blood from her lip. Breathing hard, "Then we stand." The Void King struck mentally, sending terror waves. Crew cried out, seeing nightmares. Lost loved ones, childhood fears, funerals. Silent, empty homes. Hale felt it, pain like knives in memory, but he also felt Titan's memory, ancient battles, human screams, human victory. Titan spoke through pain, humans fall. But they rise, every time. Hale pushed back, mind blazing with every smile, every love, every song humanity ever made. "We are not a quiet species," he said. We roar, light erupted. The psychic attack shattered. Void King growled in surprise. Impossible, Hale smirked. Fear is your strength. Hope is ours. Suddenly new signals appeared. Earth fleet. Mars defense ships. Human colony armadas. Old war vessels brought from museums. Mining ships turned into battering rams. Civilian cruisers armed with whatever weapons they had. Millions of voices shouted across comms, "We fight together." Space filled with humanity, broken, bruised, brave, not perfect, not fearless, but alive. Human ships charged, firing everything, missiles, lasers, railguns, even old nukes. A child's voice on one broadcast whispered, "For Earth." Everyone heard it. Everyone cried a little. Titan glowed brighter, white fire covering hull. Human unity detected. Power amplification unlocked. Wings of light expanded. Engines roared like galaxies forming. Titan rose above fleets brighter than stars. The Void King hesitated. "What are you?" Hale and Titan answered as one. "We are humanity." Titan launched into the King, energy erupting like a newborn universe. Boom, light swallowed darkness. Void beasts screamed, burning away. Rifts closed. Shadow walls fell. The King roared, cracks spreading across his massive form. "We are eternal," Hale whispered. "No, we are." Titan unleashed final blast. Silence. The Void King shattered, exploding into dust of night. The void trembled, then faded. The galaxy breathed again. Debris floated. Human ships blinked lights, weak but alive. Crew members hugged, cried, laughed. Titan's lights dimmed, tired. Like a warrior finally resting, Hale collapsed. Arya caught him. His breathing was weak but steady. "You did it," she whispered. He looked around, bruised, exhausted but smiling. "No," he said softly. "We did," Titan spoke, voice calm, peaceful. "Threat eliminated, humanity safe." Then its core slowly powered down into quiet heartbeat mode, not dead, just resting, like a guardian watching stars with gentle eyes. Days later, banners waved on Earth. Children looked at the sky with wonder. Old veterans cried, saying they finally remembered us. Titan floated in orbit, a silent monument, a sword that saved a species. Captain Hale sat near the observation window in the med bay, Arya beside him. "What now?" she asked. Hale looked at the stars. "Now peaceful. We rebuild," he said. "We grow," he smiled softly. "And if darkness comes again..." He touched the window where Titan shined outside. "We will stand again." The camera of the universe slowly pulled back, showing humans working, laughing, rebuilding across planets. A small whisper echoed, like Titan dreaming, humanity unbroken. Fade to black.